Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, I am spending a day out in central Hong Kong visiting bookstores with my friend, and in this video, I'm going to tell you which ones are worth checking out. Stick around to see clips from each video and to see my reflections, as well as some tips on places that I think you should visit personally. I'm also going to share a quick little mini book haul of the one book that I purchased. I would say that paperbacks and even hardbacks can be a bit more expensive in Hong Kong compared to perhaps other Western countries like the United Kingdom. And so I didn't want to spend too much money. I do have a Kindle, so I tend to buy ebooks on there more often than not. So I had a lot of fun filming these places and visiting these bookstores, and some of the things that I noticed were that there are usually a lot of popular and best-selling books that can easily be found in the English section of these bookstores. For instance, the romantasy and romance books that I am very used to seeing on BookTok or Bookstagram were definitely available. I think it's also a good idea to check whether the bookstore sells English books before you head out. I have often seen that the bookshop will usually have an English and Chinese section for books, but it's better to be safe than sorry if you aren't bilingual. Google Maps is your bestie for navigation. Sometimes the GPS will get a little bit confused in the city, so make sure you look for landmarks close to you in order to figure out exactly where you are. I also want to say that I did like the selection of books that was available. Even though there were a lot of bestsellers, I did find a few new books that I added to my TBR. For instance, I saw a lot of translated fiction, mainly from Japanese, but also from Korean, and one of the books that I saw is called Snowglobe. So I'm just going to quickly tell you the blurb from Goodreads in case you also find it very interesting. I thought the concept was very unique, and even though I rarely read dystopian fiction these days because I can find it a little bit depressing sometimes, I do think that this is very unique compared to a lot of dystopian books that I've seen in more mainstream Western literature. So in Snowglobe, there is a world of constant winter, and only the citizens of the climate-controlled city of Snowglobe can escape the bitter cold. Enclosed under a vast dome, Snowglobe is the last place on Earth that is warm. Outside Snowglobe is a frozen wasteland, and every day citizens face the icy world to get to their jobs at the power plant, where they produce the energy that Snowglobe needs. Their only solace comes in the form of 24-hour television programming streamed directly from the dome city. The residents of Snowglobe have fame, fortune, and above all, safety from the desolation outside their walls. But in exchange, their lives are broadcast to the less fortunate outside who are watching eagerly, hoping for the chance to one day become actors themselves. So our main character, Chovam, she lives for the time that she spends watching the shows produced inside Snowglobe, and her favorite is Go Around, starring Go Harry, Snowglobe's biggest star. But because Hari is dead, Chovam is chosen to take her place. Apologies for my terrible pronunciation of their names, by the way. You know, reality is a lie and life inside Snowglobe is not what it seems like. Now for some of the downsides, I think there wasn't as much manga in English as I was hoping for. I have noticed that in the UK, for instance, which is where I spend most of my time when I'm not living in Hong Kong, there is a great selection of manga books in places like Waterstones, and I have even seen them in some charity shops. So that's really cool. I also found it a little hard to find secondhand books that I was genuinely interested in reading. A lot of the titles that I saw in places like Lily's Bookshop, for instance, were a little bit unfamiliar. I think they were probably published a decade ago or more, or they were so mainstream that I had already read them years ago when I was younger. But that said, I think it depends on your reading taste, because I did notice a lot of philosophy and non-fiction as well as religious books that were available in the secondhand bookshops. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, you're in luck. Finally, I ended up purchasing one book from the last bookstore that I went to, and so I got Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdul, How to Do More of What Matters to You. So this book says that the secret to productivity isn't discipline, you guys, it's joy. We think that productivity is all about hard work, that the road to success is lined with endless frustration and toil. But what if there's another way? Dr. Ali Abdul is the world's most followed productivity expert, and he has uncovered an easier and happier path to success. Drawing on decades of psychological research, he has found that the secret to productivity isn't grinding, it's feeling good. I'm sold. So this book talks about the science of feel-good productivity by introducing energizers, blockers, and sustainers. And these are things that will help you achieve lasting fulfillment. And of course, we have some stories from inspiring people, you know, founders, people who won the Nobel Prize, scientists, so on and so forth. And so I am really excited to read this. I think I never really struggled with feeling motivated when I was in school or university. I feel like the parameters for success were very obvious back then. You know, you get an A, or you achieve like a 4.0 GPA, or that's what you aim for, right? There are very clear pathways to becoming successful as a student, or at least that's how it seemed to me. You know, you grind away, and sometimes, or most of the time, sorry, it does pay off. And so now as a graduate, I am looking at a terrible job market and facing this job search that is such a grind. And while doing all of that, I'm also trying to unlock this feel-good era for myself, where I'm actually doing things that make me happy and, you know, searching for a way to turn them into a fulfilling career. And so I feel like this is a book that I really need right now to kind of upgrade myself, if that makes sense. And so yeah, I'm really excited to read that. I'm hoping to do a little vlog where I talk about that book. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I would love for you to like and subscribe if you really enjoyed watching this and would love to see more content like this on my channel. Please tell me what you're reading, what's on your TBR, what you've been watching even on Netflix. I would love some cozy or maybe like comforting movie or TV show recommendations if you have any. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a really good day. Take care of yourself, keep reading, goodbye.